Welcome to the end of 2025. As we wrap up another incredible year of local athletics, I'd like to take a moment to look back on the highlights and achievements of the Blue Water area and how athletes have shown us what it means to push limits, break barriers, and strive for greatness. I'm your host, Maren, and in this special year-end episode, I'll be shining the spotlight on the standout performances, record-breaking moments, and inspiring stories from cross-country and track and field in our area this year. So lace up your shoes, get ready to sprint into the new year, and join me as we celebrate together the best of Blue Water running from 2025. Kira Taube of Yale won her very first state title in the high jump at the Michigan Indoor Championships, clearing 5'6" on her first attempt. She was the only jumper to get above 5'4" on the day and made several attempts later at 5'8". After an injury ended her regular outdoor season, she went on to compete in midsummer at the Nike National Meet in Eugene, Oregon, taking 24th place in 5 feet, 3.25 inches.
Yeah, my biggest tip and definitely my biggest training is like plyometrics and weight training, strength training. My coaches helped me a lot in the off season, putting together workouts. And I think those definitely help everyone who do any jumping events, actually. Yeah, plyos is a big part of my training. Since this weather has been so bad this season, there's only been a couple days where I've really been able to do some jumping, but usually my high jump practices are kind of some approaches. And me and my coaches have talked about doing more specific high jump techniques and drills that'll improve my jumps and form and everything more. So I don't have a lot on that right now, but another big thing if anyone wants to try high jump is confidence, because it can be so scary, but just having the courage to do it is like 95% of everything.
Cameron Gramzow of Anchor Bay threw the discus 148 feet 7 inches for 7th place in the indoor state meet, his best by over a foot, which earned him a trip to the podium for an all-state medal. He then set a new outdoor school record in the discus, breaking a 47-year-old mark from 1977 at 156 feet 6 inches, and then met the EQ mark. Gramzow threw 170 feet 7 inches to take 5th place at the D1 state finals and earn his very first outdoor all-state honors, and then went on to compete at New Balance Nationals in June, throwing a new PR of 176 feet 10 inches to finish 19th in the nation. Gramzow has already thrown his indoor PR in his first attempt this season at 168 feet 4 inches.
I think it's going a lot better than what I kind of expected to throw somewhere close to 160.
Okay.
But I didn't expect to hit it so early in the season.
Yeah, because your best last year was significantly less than that. So that's a pretty big jump.
Yeah, it was 149 or 148 something.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think I had, when I wrote my intro to the podcast, I put that you threw 148.7 indoors. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So already since your indoor season, you've, had over a 10-foot jump. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Thomas Kahn of North Branch. He finished 5th in the 800 meters at regionals in 2024 and missed the AQ by fractions of a second. So 2025 was Thomas Kahn's senior year redemption story. He comfortably ran a strategic race and sprinted to an inside lane finish, a la Cole Hocker style, and claimed his very first individual regional title in a season best of 2:02. Earlier in the season, he also achieved the EQ in the 400-meter dash and reset North Branch High School's record in 49.82. He won the BWAC, the Hatchet Invitational, and the Thumb Meet in the 400 meters. The North Branch boys dramatically won the BWAC League team title in the final event of the day, with Kahn anchoring the 4x4 relay to a last-second lean at the line and gave the Broncos a 3-point lead over Yale. First attempt was about a 51.5. And then prior to that, it was mid 55s, 56s. And then just this weekend, you hit the EQ for D2. You went sub 50. So I know you have had experience with running a 400 in the 4x4, but what made you try the open 400, and why do you think that you've seen so much success so fast this year?
Well, so beginning of this year, I ran the 4x4 and my splits were like, they were good. It was around 51. And so my papa, he ran track way back in the day, and he was telling me, he was like, you should really try the open 4. And I was like, okay, one of these BWAC meets where the team doesn't need me to run the 800, I'll try the open 4 and see how it goes. And then I ran the 51, and I was like, man, that felt really good. I think I can go faster. And so that's what I did.
Colin Boulard of St. Clair won both the 110 and 300 meter hurdles at the Blue Water Meet of Champions. At the Anchor Bay Invitational, Colin ran his best of 15.12 seconds in the 110 hurdles, a PR by close to half a second, and he met the Division II state early qualifying mark of 15.3 seconds, one of only a handful of our area athletes to do so. Since you have hurdled pretty consistently for several years, do you think about what you're going to do as you approach a hurdle, or do you just kind of do it out of instinct and practice and habit?
Honestly, great question, because I feel like most of the time it's just muscle memory. Like, for the 300s, I'd say, like yesterday, at the Marysville Invite, it was mostly just like heat of the moment, like muscle memory, like just in a fluid motion type of thing. Like I wasn't thinking during the race. I was just like running.
Right.
But yeah, sometimes during the 110s, it's like a little different, but most of the time it's just running and like all muscle memory.
Another hurdler, Jonah Konarts of Anchor Bay, put the exclamation point on a stellar senior season by running a PR in the 110-meter hurdles of 14.32 and taking 6th place at the D1 state finals, climbing that podium for the first time. He was one of a handful of local athletes in the spring to hit an EQ mark in his event as well. It was all Eli Bickle at the D2 regional meet in the spring. He outdistanced his nearest competitor by close to 7 feet in the shot put, throwing 53 feet, 3.5 inches, and then went on to claim another regional title in the discus, throwing 162 feet. Eli earned all-state in the discus by finishing as the runner-up at the D2 state finals, and he set a new personal best there as well of 180 feet, 9 inches. He also finished 10th in the shot put. His shot put best stands at 56 feet, 2 inches after this season. Eli now holds North Branch's school records in both the shot and the disc, as well as the Blue Water Area Conference records. He went on to compete in the summer at New Balance Nationals in June and threw a new personal best there of 186 feet, 1 inch to place 9th in the nation. How did it feel to stand on the podium as an all-state athlete for the first time?
It was awesome. It felt like it was a big accomplishment. Like all the hard work I had paid off. And going, like when I stepped on the podium, I was thinking I still had shot, but I was like, I made it here. This is my goal at the beginning of the season was to make all-state in disc, and I did it. So I didn't really care how shot ended up. So it was exciting.
Kieran Whitlam of Macomb Lutheran North repeated as the regional champ for the second year in a row in the pole vault at 13 feet and saw a few indoor vaults at 14 feet. He also claimed the Macomb County Championship title for the second straight year. At the AAU Junior Olympic Games in Houston at the end of the summer, Whitlam threw the javelin 35.69 meters, which is about 117 feet, to take 32nd, while his pole vault of 3.95 meters, or 13 feet, was good for 12th in his age category. He also previously vaulted a new PR of 14 feet outdoors at the regional qualifier for that event.
Recently, I did start focusing more on my vaulting, and what's helped me in that, particularly just my PRs, has been reading. And it sounds so odd because it's not my physical muscles, but my mental muscle. I read a lot of my psychology and philosophy books because pole vault's honestly 150% mental and 100% physical. You don't get one without the other. If you don't have a good mental space or brain space, you can just call it a day. You have to be there mentally instead of physically.
Chase Batani of Almont set his personal best and the Almont High School record in the 110-meter hurdles, winning regionals in 14.81 seconds. He was named BWAC MVP for winning the 110-meter hurdles in 15.99, placing third in the 300 hurdles in 42.52 seconds, and taking the pole vault competition in 14 feet, which was 2.5 feet higher than the second-place vaulter. Batani was ranked in the top 10 in both his events heading into the D3 state finals, and he delivered, placing 6th in both the pole vault and in the hurdles. Aubrey Deshetsky of North Branch also dominated the area in the girls' throws. She was undefeated outdoors in the shot put until she claimed a state runner-up finish with a measurement of 42 feet. Deshetsky was also all-state in the discus, taking third in 132 feet 8 inches, and she was second only once the entire season in that event. She was the league champ, regional champ, Blue Water Meet of Champions winner, and the Thumb Champs double winner. Malencia Price of Port Huron High School was the lone female athlete from the Port Huron area to qualify out of an incredibly tough D1 regional for track, taking second in the long jump in 17 feet 1.25 inches and representing the Redhawks at the D1 state finals. She was also the Blue Water Meet of Champions MVP. She led the area's fastest times list in the 100, 200, and 400 meters. Vasily Kasparian of Port Huron Northern High School won the 100 and the 200 meters at the Blue Water Meet of Champions and was named MVP of that meet. He also took fourth in the pole vault. At the Mac White Championship, he won the pole vault as well. Sadie Dykstra of Yale High School was 4 for 4 at the D2 state meet, earning a podium finish in each of her events. She took fourth in the 100 hurdles in a new PR of 15.12 seconds and fourth in the 300 hurdles in 45.78 seconds. On the field, she was fifth in the high jump, a new event for her this year at 5'3", and fourth in the long jump in 17 feet 8 inches. It's an incredible accomplishment to be all-state once. So to do so in every event across a long day competing through prelims, finals, and heats is very impressive, especially considering she came off an extended illness that had cut the first half of her season short. Dykstra then went on to compete at Nike Nationals in Eugene, Oregon, where she finished 5th place in the nation in the girls' heptathlon to earn All-American status with a combined point total of 4,723 points. Dykstra recently committed to the University of Michigan to continue her track and field pursuits, and I have a feeling we'll be seeing a lot more from this young lady to come. So talk to us about similarities, differences, what you might do in your training, how it all kind of works together.
Well, approaching like hurdles, I actually got the chance to work with an Olympic trialist this season, and he gave me really good pointers telling me how hurdling should be running and not jumping the hurdle, or as he said, you should never hurdle the hurdle. You should always run the hurdles. And like that clicked for me, but also the fact that he said we should be running the hurdles. I guess you have a run up in long jump and you have a sprint, and I guess there's a sprint in both of them. So your run up is your sprint to get to the board to jump in long jump, and you should run your hurdles so that you're sprinting technically. And I think that's a huge similarity.
Eva Thompson of Croslex remained unbeaten in any distance track event her senior year in conference competition, and she went 4 for 4 in BWAC races at the conference championship meet, leading her 4x800 relay team to first in 10:29, then completing the distance triple crown. She won the 800 in 2:24, the 1600 in 5:29, and the 3200 in 11:45. Thompson had the Blue Water Area Meet of Champions lone record-setting performance of the meet in the 3200-meter run. She finished in 11:10, breaking the 46-year-old mark of 11:11, which was previously held by Miriam Boyd of Port Huron High and set in 1979. Thompson closed out a legendary career for the Pioneers, taking 5th in the 1600 in a season-best 5:03 to climb the all-state podium for a third straight year. She was 11th in 11:14 in the 3200 as well. Thompson has continued to shine as a collegiate runner for Central Michigan University, dropping a 17:25 in the 5K for her indoor track debut. Kate Bennett of Algonac was ranked 21st in the 800 meters going into the D3 state finals, but smashed all predictions by taking 6th place in a new personal best and school record time of 2:22. Bennett's PR the season prior was a 2:34, and her highest placement at states before that season was 17th. So it was a fantastic finish to her track and field career as a Muskrat. Kate went on to run for SC4 cross country this fall, competing as one of the top runners for the Skippers, earning all-conference status and taking 28th place at the national meet, earning NGCAA Coaches Association All-American honors. You've won your heat. You don't know yet, really, what your overall place is then. So what was going through your mind as you were kind of waiting around till the fast heat was done?
Well, I crossed the finish line and there was a clock right by the finish line. So I knew I came in at a 2:22, and that was really exciting because I knew I broke our school record, and I did not expect it all to place. I did not think that would happen. So I was kind of just like excited that I had broke our school record. And so then I was just on the ground, and my other two coaches were watching the fast heat go. And they were like, once they were finishing, they're coming in and they're like, oh, I think she got top 8. And I was like, oh my goodness. And so then we were just waiting for the actual times to come in at.
Samantha Whitlam of Macomb Lutheran North was the D2 regional champion in the long jump in the spring of 2025 with a PR of 16 feet, 9.5 inches. And she topped the area list with the fastest 2025 season time in the 800 meters at 2:22.7. She was named cross-country runner of the year for the Blue Water area. She was second at the Algonac Classic Run, 10th in the Macomb County meet to place as the first D2, 3, or 4 runner in the top 10. And she was the D2 regional champion at Columbus Park, helping lead her team to a regional team championship. She finished the season with a PR of 19:03 for the 5K, running that at the MICA Meet of Champions, the third fastest time this year in our area. What do you find really helps you be successful? Everybody has a little bit of a different approach to their training or their nutrition or their sleep. What really works for you? You're like, this is my thing. This is what helps me do my best.
I'd say sleep definitely plays a big role, and just making sure I'm in bed by 9:30 every night and getting a lot of sleep in.
So do you have a go-to or a must-do? Do you have anything that's kind of your routine or, like your thing that you need to eat or something you need to do before you run?
Yeah, before the race, I always make sure I foam roll or stretch, and that usually helps me a lot.
Alana Wessel of the Macomb Athletic Club for Homeschoolers was at the top of many area lists from track in the 800 and 1600 to the 5K for cross country. She had the number 1 time in her area all season with her best of 18:41, dipping into the 18s several times during her sophomore season.
I think for me, I'd be using cross training to get extra fitness without a bunch of injury risk. I think that having a healthy diet also helps a lot, which my mom helps a lot with. She buys a lot of healthy food for us. I think that having my dad trains us and he gives us training plans year round has definitely helped me a lot.
Sam Langolf of Port Huron Northern was one of only 2 girls in our area to break 19 minutes for the cross-country season. She was undefeated in MAC White competition, 9th in a tough D1 regional with Romeo, the defending state champion, and she finished out her senior season with another PR of 18:45 at the state finals. Back in the spring track season when she was a junior, Langolf also ran big PRs in the 800, 1600, and 3200. She did all of this despite a diagnosis of POTS early on in her running career. You were diagnosed with POTS as a freshman, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So when you first were diagnosed, did you know anything about what that was, or was it a whole new thing for you when your doctors first told you?
My older sister has it, but we have different kinds.
Okay.
I didn't really know much of anything about it. We were told small things like to increase salt intake, but we had to do a lot of the research on our own.
Well, how did you feel like that diagnosis affected your training or your ability to compete when you first found out? How did you feel about running? I mean, did it change how you trained? Did it change what you did?
Yeah, when I started back into running, I was really nervous the first few practices and races that I would have the same problem. I'd pass out.
Kai Fisher of Memphis High School. Kai won the 400 meters in the Blue Water Meet of Champions. He was ranked 4th in the state in the one-lap race heading into the D4 state meet and just missed the podium, finishing 9th in 52.74. In the 100-meter dash, he was 15th, running 11.45 seconds. He also broke the 50-second barrier in the 400 meters over the summer, running 49.75 on July 12th at the Motor City Classic. He did all of these things while attending a high school that doesn't even have a track.
I wouldn't have gotten as far as I have without God. And I think just being disciplined and focusing on all the small things that people normally neglect has helped me quite a bit as well.
What would you consider a small thing that people tend to neglect?
Like running form. Like that's super important, because if you're doing it wrong, you're not going to produce as much power. Like since last year, my main focus has been my start and my form, and that's helped me quite a bit.
Leo Burse of Yale High School won the Michigan USATF Junior Olympic Championships 3,000-meter race walk and 2,000-meter steeplechase in Olivet on June 21st. He also won the regional championship in both those events in Louisville, Kentucky in July, qualifying for the USATF Junior Olympics national meet held at Savannah State University in Georgia, where he finished 16th in the steeplechase and 4th in the race walk. Well, let's define race walking. So how is race walking technically different from running? So can you break down the difference, key technique rules that we might need to know? Like what makes you a race walker and not a runner?
All right. Yeah. So there are 2 rules. The one is that you have to have one foot on the ground at all times, detectable by the unaided human eye. That little bit at the end is very important, because if you look at any professional, they're definitely not following that rule. The other one, which is definitely the harder one, is that your knee has to be locked and straight until it's underneath your hip again. So you almost have to walk like peg-legged. And that's where all of the complexity of the sport comes from, really.
Joshua Macri of Macomb Lutheran North topped the Blue Water area list all season for times in cross country and track. From the 1,600 and 3,200 meter runs to the 5K, he was regional champ in the 1,600, 4x8 relay, and second in the 3,200. And he went to the state finals in all 3 of those events. During the fall cross-country season, he cemented his name in the record books as the fastest boy to ever run at Macomb Lutheran North, with a school record of 15:53 set at the D2 state finals, where he earned all-state honors in 19th place. Macri also won the Algonac Classic, Autumn Classic, was the defending regional champion, going 2 for 2 at Columbus Park to win again, and he finished 3rd at the Macomb County Championships to earn first team All-County. Macri went on to complete a postseason race, finishing 13th at the Nike Cross Country Midwest Regional, and he just set the 16 Ways Indoor Track Club record in the 1,600 in 4 minutes and 28 seconds. Let's talk about some of the successful elements in your life. So we're going to talk about what works really well for you as far as training, nutrition, sleep. What are your go-tos that just help you do your best?
Yeah, I try to keep a consistent training plan with my mileage. I try to listen to my body. After workouts, in terms of sleep, I try to get a quick nap in, like an hour nap in. And before races, I try to get 8 hours of sleep the day before. And food-wise, I would just suggest eating organic and homemade foods. I'm pretty fortunate that my grandma, she makes some really good food, and I'm always eating her food, and it's really good. It's organic, straight from the garden.
Wow. So give us a little taste, so to speak, of like what you like to eat that she makes.
Her pasta is really good. Her salads, everything that she makes is really good.
Armada Sprint Relays. Football players turned track rookies made up 3/4 of the Tigers sprint relay teams in 2025. Jack Klee, Anthony Alvarez, Jackson Malberg, and TJ Seiler qualified for the D2 state finals, setting 2 school records in both the 4x100, 45.14 seconds, and the 4x200, which was close to a 2-second improvement over the old record at 1 minute, 31.88 seconds. With a throw 3 feet farther than last year, Port Huron Northern's Lincoln Watkins set his PR of 51 feet 5 inches in the shot put to take second at regionals and earn his first trip to the state finals. The football standout recently committed to play at the University of Kentucky. Sage Cole of Yale High School cemented herself as the fastest female freshman for Yale in the 400 meters, finishing in 61.89 seconds to qualify for a trip to the state finals in the spring. Once cross country rolled around for her sophomore season, she was second in the BWAC, fifth at regionals, won the Marysville Invite and the Brown City Invitational, and led Yale all season as their number one, clinching the BWAC team title and a regional team berth to the state meet for the first time in 13 years. Cole ran her first sub-20-minute 5K at the state finals to set a huge PR of 19:38, the top BWAC girls finisher in the D2 meet. Well, that was my next question. Do you see any other freshmen or newcomers to the team that you think will make an impact?
Sage Cole, big one. She is
I know who that is.
So fast. Oh my gosh. She is probably she is a huge threat. She is so fast. Oh my gosh. We call her a robot because she does all the, like we did the distance did a ladder down drill where they did 1200 and then 800, 600, 400, 200, 100. And I swear, after every single one, she clicked her watch to start, got to the end, wasn't even breathing hard, clicked her watch to stop. They took a minute break, right back on the track, did it again and again and again. And I was like, oh my gosh, she doesn't even look tired. Like, she is chugging along and she is not even tired.
Maxwell Durham of New Haven High School started his freshman year with a PR of 26 minutes and 18 seconds, dropping that to become a D3 All-State runner as a senior, ending his career at New Haven with a high school best of 16 minutes and 15 seconds. He's a shining example of what patience and hard work can lead to over 4 years. Durham also won the MAC Blue Championships and the Marysville Invitational and earned Macomb All-County status while running against much larger D1 teams.
I think the biggest reason that I've kind of improved as much as I have is a lot of consistency. There hasn't really been ever a time where I just would skip practice for any reason or any reason sort of like that. And it's just always being consistent has really helped with that.
Luke Bowman of Anchor Bay was the adaptive state champion in the 400 meters and the shot put, and third in the 100 and 200 meter adaptive events. Luke currently attends the University of Michigan, where he is an adaptive athlete in basketball and track and field.
This is where you're actually part of the team. You're striving for the same or similar things as them, and it's just like a whole team effort in the end of the day. And I always found that to be super fun. And then I, of course, like going fast. And so that's something that you get to do a lot of during track.
Claire Albrecht of Armada High School was undefeated in all 3 Blue Water Area Conference cross-country jamborees and was named the BWAC MVP, along with earning Macomb All-County status in a personal record time of 1946, the second fastest frosh. At regionals, Albrecht finished as the runner-up and was the Tigers' top runner the entire season, finishing 2025 as the second fastest freshman to ever come out of Armada, behind All-Stater Rachel Durbin, who still currently holds the school record at 18 minutes and 17 seconds. All right. Well, I know that when you were in 8th grade last year, you raced a 2-mile distance for cross country. So now that you're a freshman and you're running a 5K, what do you think was the biggest challenge for you as you had to adjust to moving to the full 5K for the high school level?
So I was scared at first because I was scared I wasn't going to be able to keep up my pace for that long. But I went to more summer runnings than I did in middle school, and I trained more, and my body adjusted quickly by doing going at a slower pace than I would at 2 miles. And then it's just I kind of like it better than 2 miles because it's slower, but I'm also getting better at it.
Cassidy Bowers of Austin Catholic ran a 1949 PR this fall as a cross-country sophomore, was the D4 regional runner-up, finished 19th at the D4 state finals to earn all-state honors, and also won the James Cleverly Invite, the Cardinal Mooney Austin Catholic Invite, and the Catholic High School League Cardinal Division Championships. Kara Prusekovich of Dryden ran a PR of 1936 to earn D4 All-State cross-country honors, finishing 12th at MIS. She also won the Dryden Classic and the Fox and Hounds meet. She ends her cross-country career for Dryden as the school record holder.
I think the nutrition sleep are very important when it comes to like my success. And I think just getting enough sleep and food is like really important for your body to recover. Sometimes it's difficult to like eat enough for the amount of training you're doing or get enough sleep when you have like school and stuff going on. But I think it makes a huge difference when you're training like that.
Now on to some collegiate running recognition. In the SC4 women's cross-country season, the women placed 11th out of 44 teams at the NGCAA national meet. Freshman Bryn Hurley placed 15th overall in a time of 19 minutes, 45 seconds, earning her All-American honors by the NGCAA, USTFCCCA, and the NGCAA Coaches Association.
Yeah, I was in 16th and 17th for like most of it, and like my coach was yelling at me and my mom, and they were all telling me where I was. But I'd moved up to 12th and 13th towards the end, but I wasn't like 100% sure, so I was like, okay, if 2 more people pass me, I'll be okay still, but I wasn't sure, so.
For Macomb Community College cross country, Jacob Kosidlo finished in first place individually at the MCCAA Eastern Conference Championship and was named the Eastern Conference Runner of the Year for his efforts. Emma Dell won the women's race as well and was named Runner of the Year. Kosidlo later went on to finish 20th at Nationals and earn second team and Coaches Association All-American honors. Grace Wessel led the Monarch women with an 18th place finish to earn NGCAA second team All-American honors as well. Former Port Huron Northern runner Glenn Davis led the Wayne State men's team in his inaugural season, winning the Warrior Challenge and placing 29th at the NCAA Division II Midwest Regional. Armada graduate Camden Kuhn from Spring Arbor University won the Crossroads League Conference Championship for cross country, setting the course record. He then went on to earn NAI All-American status, finishing 29th at the national meet. Kuhn was also All-American in his spring track seasons, placing 4th in the mile and 3rd in the DMR indoors during the winter. Then in May, took 5th in the 1500 and 6th in the 4x800 relay outdoors. What do you do differently now as a collegiate athlete than you did as a high school athlete? So you can talk about anything you like, your nutrition, your shoes, warm-up routine, recovery, anything that would go with, you know, just your daily approach to staying healthy and doing your best.
Yeah, so for that question, I would say literally everything. Like, I did nothing in high school to better my running. I didn't really, I guess, care that much. I kind of really like basketball a lot, but I would say I ate terrible in high school and even a little bit into college. And now I try to focus on my diet a lot more. I didn't really care about my sleep. You know, I'd get 7 hours and call it good. And now I'm really focused on my sleep. I try and get at least 8.5 to 9 hours consistent sleep.
Thomas Westfall, an Anchor Bay graduate now running for Michigan State University, was the Big Ten Freshman of the Week twice and helped MSU place second in the Big Ten Championships, which was their best team finish since 2016. With an 8K PR of 23:25, he finished 3rd overall and was the highest placing freshman. Thomas was later named to the Great Lakes All-Region team in his first attempt at the 10K distance, taking 12th in 30 minutes and 6 seconds, then dropped that PR to a 29:19 at the NCAA Championships to finish 59th as the top runner for MSU on the day at the Gans Creek course in Missouri. He was voted the Big Ten Freshman of the Year by Big Ten coaches, the first Spartan man to receive this honor since 2011, and only the 5th one overall. Jack Pennywell of St. Clair was also a scoring Spartan on this year's squad. Thomas Westfall is now the fastest runner to ever come out of the Blue Water area in every single distance event: 800, 1500, 1600, mile, 3000, 3200, and 5K, topping even Morgan Beetlescombe from Algonac, who is a former Spartan himself and an Olympic trials qualifier. The last time I saw you in person, you had just broken the 2-mile record at the Davison Twilight Invitational. And I kind of joked with you. I'm like, hey, the Olympics are in LA in 2028. And you kind of laughed. But I mean, that has to be on your radar. Do you have aspirations after college to dive into, I mean, even during college, to dive into professional running, you know, going to the Olympic trials, things like that? Has that been something that you've thought about long term?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I didn't it's always been a dream for me to run professionally. I didn't know if I would ever get there or if I ever will get there, but yeah, definitely I think about like making an Olympic team or making a world team quite a bit. I think if everything goes right in my running career and I stay healthy, like, I don't think it's out of the question that I can make a world team.
Once again, thank you so much for tuning in to the podcast. It has been an extreme joy and privilege to be part of such amazing accomplishments across our area this year. If you would like to listen to more of the athlete interviews that were featured in this episode, you can tune in to prior episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and on the website at bluewaterrunning.org. A very special thank you to this year's sponsors, Elite Feet of Port Huron and Verlinde Insurance, who have helped make coverage on Blue Water Running possible. Thank you to each and every one of you for listening, reading, and subscribing. You are the reason Blue Water Running exists. I wish you a happy new year, and I can't wait to see what 2026 will bring.